Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. It's currently 8:50 a.m. and what I took images of is the state's fake sun. That is the environment that is present right over the edge of 630 North Fern. And you're looking at also what is directed light aiming downward at a perfect angle inside of the vehicle, hitting the driving wheel, and the state is aiming this directed light into the depths onto the floor underneath the console as well. This is the ongoing placement of directed light. The state engages in vibration of the car, that's sensational activity, while the demons that are the people of the state are stalking around the vehicle, This is P.O.C. and they are patrolling on G Street and on Fern. And this is the state's light source that I'm capturing over again. At the same time, I'm already in Upland, and the state's fake sun is clearly over the City Hall parking lot. And I'm showing you what is directed light while the shadows of those vehicles are extended well beyond the vehicles themselves. The shadow of the covering that the vehicles are parked under. All right, I'm showing you what is directed light at that venue where the state's fake sun is clearly over my head. This is the state's fake sun that is over the address of 630 North Fern. It is a facilitating venue, and they are all stalking inside of those venues where you happen to live. That is why you shall be prosecuted wherever your address is or wherever it is you work at. The government is monitoring and is present through you. That is the people of the state, and this is demonic activity that they are corporately engaged in. This is the state invading the vehicle where the entity is very well aware of where I sleep, okay? Whether it's outside at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, whether it's inside of a vehicle on a street, you have the same exact randomness that are the demon possessed. That's linking them all together, the directed light, the fake sun, the stalking conduct of the entity. There is no question about the pattern of conduct. I'm giving you a rundown of why we'll be documenting hundreds of demons today, October 30th, 2021. This is P.O.C. And that is the stalker in airplane in directed light. It's 9:04 a.m. at 630 North Fern in the city of Ontario. Six NVE 711, 8 NND 966. It's 10:04 a.m. and I'm at G Street and Euclid Avenue, fake sun, right over the vehicle. This is Ontario, California. Crossing path is 8LIX 588. 7, oh, I can't really say that, 6YEE 561, 7MLV 329, 8VXE 690, 8AFA 345, 8SUL 410, I believe, 8SHF 983, VT25D2. All right, license 8FEK487. All right, it is 9:05 9 MA. The library's open. Where you going? 8AKJ012. 7FAR099. 8TPA 341.
Pretty smart of us.
State sounding sirens under the fake sun and pacing back and forth is FSJE 499. This is Upland. The market, this is P.O.C. They're having the little market. They're all under the fake sun. This is P.O.C. 8WZN 704, loitering in relevant position while the state sounding sirens as I'm walking through the parking lot. 6UUG 434. All right, license 6UUG 434, 8NSB 031, 7ZFS 817, 6PQJ 539, 8AXN 710, 7FWX 469, 6YBN 917, 8AVK 200, 8PGF 573, 6FBB 520, 6RBJ 883, 7PIM 599, 4KET 513. The state's fake sun is directly over me in the parking lot of the San Bernardino County Upland Fire Department, and it remained over the vehicle over while I'm at 630 North Fern, and this is 10:04 a.m. while I'm documenting on the podcast. The state's fake sun follows to this venue in Upland, where I've already documented when I'm here well before 10:04 a.m. I'm just giving you timelines as to what is nothing but stalking with light, and the entity is stalking, and you can maintain an Upland market where the people of the state are engaging in stalking in the path, where the state's environment is present while you're holding that market, and the demon possessor sounding sirens while you're holding that market under the fake sun and indirect light. Okay? Demons engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct and calling it a market in Upland. That's the P.O.C. 8LL L713, 6XHP008, 7LTE 185, 7PKB 348, 7MFS 646. Walking through the vehicles, my shadows on both sides, the same engineered light that I've showed you on video. They're all in the state's environment monitoring. 8RCG 391, 6ZHT 330, 04595838, 8AUM 027, 6KEP 347, 5EHE 870, 4346183, 8AQG 141, 7VZF 778. It's 10:37 a.m. Directed light while that vehicle moves under the engineered light. 6KEP 347 monitoring with babies in the back seat. 7 FKE 386, 7 R40427, 5 FRR 326, 7 EOH 735, 6 FYS 651, 8 ENX 472, 7 TJB 321. 8R, I think I might have read this one, 8RCG 391. 8VOV 707. And Stalking with Light, 4WON 432, Tracy Banks. I am. 7CWC 424, 8NSB 031. 35955T2, 7376083. 4AOH006. City of Upland 1603322. Vehicle 026. 6BAW 592. 3PKG 176. 4Y. Ow. Let me get this license one moment. molesting with directed light, 4YXX035. 5AUS 299, 7Y03268, 6M7 9798, 4WMS 955, 7Z38747, 6ROX 879, 6UHK 037, 24380X2, 6AIY 768, 3PKG 176, 8FNC 565, 6MAB 067, 571TR, that's handicap, 5969U handicap, 6YXF 315, 8NVZ 194. Um, 63834V1, 47637T2, 76137A2, 8LQN 635, 5DIF 038, 7A97469, 82162E1, 7XDE703, 11559D3, and it is 10:41 a.m. Molly Super is monitoring. It is 8XFN521. It's I'm speaking the time because I want to be clear that the flashing light, which is peculiarized light, 7UXL824, created in the Upland Public Library parking lot where they are maintaining presence under the fake sun. That is a demonic. That's an indicator of the ongoing demonic activity. And that peculiarized light is on during the day. This is serving monitoring purposes, I want to be clear. And it is also speaking to the demonic environment. All right, like I've stated, that's the pattern of conduct, the maintenance of flashing light. And they're maintaining that that's not the malfunction. The light is maintained on at all times, right? While they're walking around having a market during the day, engaging in the same exact P.O.C. It's demonic activity while you're at a market, a neighborhood market. Okay, that's P.O.C. It is currently 10:42 a.m. The same state actors, the demon-possessed actors of American Medical Response, the Upland Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, sounding sirens while the demon-possessed are surrounding a relevant position at the venue, holding a market, stalking with activity in the same exact manner, in the same exact engineered light. Okay, it's P.O.C. It's 10:42 a.m. They are locking the study room, locking me out of the study room that has my property in it while they are surrounding the study room. That's what I capture. You're going to pay attention to how studious Satan looks while they're surrounded in directed light. That's what you're focusing on. I'm showing you what's a psychopath that is stalking in the bathroom, and that's what I documented. And my shadow is in front of me while I'm inside of the venue while they're looking like these are the demon-possessed that are stalking, that they are monitoring, practicing demonic activity, and outwardly conducting themselves like they're doing something else. This is what demons do, okay? So I'm showing you what is looking hard, studying inside of a book while you're in relevant position in the state's environment, in relevant position with that state that is stalking by plane, helicopter, and law enforcement, while you are surrounded by directed light. Okay, so you're going to prosecute the psychopath based on incontrovertible direct evidence of what is monitoring with communication devices, and you're also going to prescribe and understand what is a psychopath and that sex offender that conducts itself in such way while engaging in that egregious criminal activity. This entity is stalking in the bathroom. That's the sex offender, and that's what I documented right now. It is 11:21 a.m., and this is harassment while they locked me out of study room number 1 that I did not lock. Did not lock it as I went to the restroom, and understand that's an act of aggression. But every minor thing that the government does, because that's what they're acting, they are in the shoes of the government, that is sounding plane engines inside of this venue, while its fake sun is over the venue and while my shadow is in front and behind me. All right, that's the engineer light, that's terrorism, while the sex offenders are stalking in bathroom stalls. Okay, that's P.O.C. All right, it is 2:24 p.m., so I want to give you some, the same pattern of conduct. Obviously, the state's fake sun is over the venue. That is not sunlight that is present inside of the library, while that is the fake sun over the library, which is remaining. This is not the sun because the sun is not going to be physically hovering over the building, which would burn up and it would burn up if that was actually the sun. I've shown you the low hovering light source. I've shown you where the state's hovering light source is directly over me, all right, wherever I am, including far from Upland, all right, not even in the county of San Bernardino, okay, not in the city. I've shown you in Ontario. I've shown you in Los Angeles. I've shown you in Fontana, okay? This is not the sun for that reason either. This is not the sun that is what you're looking at with regard to what the sun is even aiming inside of the venue with regard to directed light. It is aiming directed light in all manner of directions. And you are looking at what is not going to be the trajectory of sunlight. And not only that, the sun is not beside a building. The sun is above a building. The state is aiming its directed light. Okay, I've already established that the state is stalking with light. What I want to get to is the tactic, the method used to engage in sexual violence. And this is utilizing the men in the men's restroom, the employees, that they are all engaging in the demonic conduct of noise making. These are demons. Wrap your mind around what they are engaging in. Criminal conduct of federal stalking with communication devices, okay? The very elements of monitoring is the practicing of satanic activity. Light activity, that is visible activity, audible activity, and or sensational activity. And the third element being relevant positioning. These are the demons that are maintaining presence all around together on a ceaseless basis. And this is broken down into a legal framework. It is operated by the government that is monitoring with communication devices, i.e. 18 U.S.C. section 18 U.S.C. 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. And then you have what is also understanding the context of what they're doing. It's not just criminal conduct. This is demonic activity and a demonic environment where they're engaging in what is monitoring with communication devices, targeting an American citizen, doing so in concert and on behalf of a government, practicing what is terrorism while this satanic conduct is underway. So giving all of that, I'm prefacing what I'm documenting, the ongoing sexual violence while the ongoing environment remains. This is terrorism, and those engaging in this system at this venue, which is Upland Public Library, engaging in what is sexual violence. And this is the determination of that sex offender to continue to engage in it. All right. This is with regard to the impermissible threat. And also what is also equally impermissible is the government is not going to touch you. The government is not going to touch you through its engagement of its activity creation. All right, while it's doing so in a private space with knowledge of what you're doing. So in other words, while my legs are spread open, okay, while I'm in the process of using that private space, my legs are spread open, and as I'm wiping myself, all right, and this needs to be known because I'm breaking down and I'm going to prosecute a violent sex offender, all right, and this is what the target individual is subject to. So I'm just breaking down the violence that they're engaging in, the perverted conduct that they are corporately engaging in. And it is not a question what you are doing and what is underway where the state is stalking with that environment, where the state is stalking directly. These are already aspects that are established. So you are literally understanding what is a psychopath and what's a violent sex offender. In that environment, you have what is the ongoing sexual violence. So the state engages in, as I've already shown, the elements of light, activity, and relevant positioning. The state engages in amplification of activity inside of the bathroom where no demon-possessed stalker physically enters. They remain in relevant position outside of the building. The state is stalking by plane and helicopter. They're in relevant position as well, okay? I am documenting as the group stalkers are entering in, and because you need to see the image and you need to understand, Satan is in the bathroom stalking someone in a bathroom, and you need to understand that. That's why I provide video and images, because we are breaking down the entirely predatory and demented and threatening conduct of a government that is a sex offender, okay? But let me be clear. Sexual violence is ongoing. You're subject to surveillance. The government is listening to your bodily functions while you're in that private space, going to the restroom, whatever your issues are, the government is aware of it, and the people of the state are corporately aware of whatever is going on. It's not private information. This sex offender goes even farther, enters inside of that private space with ongoing knowledge of what you're doing as you're doing it, and engaging in ongoing federal stalking, which is demonic activity inside of that private space. That is an impermissible threat. That's an exceedingly violent sex offender, never contemplated by federal legislation. All right. And that's what you're prosecuting. So you have what are the use of slamming doors, amplified audible activity at the time. And this is the deliberate conduct of demons. I want to be clear. The people of the state, the government, that is also hostile. You have all of these facets that are working together. Not only am I documenting the pattern of conduct, I'm documenting what is demonic activity. You need to understand the character of demons. All right. Well, with ongoing knowledge of everything that I'm doing, including documenting, you have what is hostility that is coinciding with their ceaseless engagement in that sexual violence. So you'll have what is the creation of audible activity inside of that private space, and doing so at the pivotal moment of your legs being spread open and wiping yourself, and then creating impossible audible activity. And the men inside of the restroom, they are creating ongoing audible activity that the state is amplifying. You're hearing incessant door slamming. Doing so as I'm wiping myself on the toilet. Okay, doing so, and let me break that down. That is doing harm to the target individual's mind. Legislation, prosecution is going to protect the mind, the person, the constitutional rights in a forum. Every way in which the government is engaging in harming, you're going to enforce those rights, as in addition to what is asserting what is the ongoing dignity of that target individual, that American citizen that's subject to what is unprecedented criminal conduct by a government that is engaging in satanic conduct, which is absolutely demented and perverted. And so this is what I'm spelling out. You are in a deliberately maintained environment. You are engaging in what is deliberate activity pursuant to that criminal system, which is not stopping while you're in that private space. And understand the moment that you are engaging in the creation of activity in that private space is deliberate as well. This is speaking to the sexual perversion. This is speaking to the harm inflicted and intended, all right? And then you're walking out and you're surrounded with that which is not sunlight, it's directed light. And I want to document, and that's what I took in images. You're looking at what is the environment, which remains. I've already shown you that. But the group stalker, the white male, the African-American male, the employee, the heavy-set Latino whose vehicle, I believe her license plate starts with 6VAH. I've read all of them, all right? And she is the Latina who I also took images of, for example, at the teen room while I'm sitting at a desktop. I'm sorry, at a partition, and she is engaging in stalking with activity, pacing back and forth, literally engaging in demonic activity while she is on the job, monitoring with communication devices, and doing so in concert with the underage demon-possessed who are monitoring with her through the teen room. All right, I've captured images of her, and she is the one that drives that black hatchback type vehicle. I don't know what that thing is, but anyway, they are slamming doors. And the entity is aware of what you're doing as you're doing it. And I want to be clear, that is the same engagement in activity creation in that private space. Doing it without a third party having to enter, which they don't have to enter. This is the in the same way that the state is stalking with the fake sun and directed light, wanting to invade everywhere, touch everywhere. The entity wants to be in the private space and is obsessively engaging in that stalking conduct in a bathroom. All right, you're going to place what is a prosecutorial protection around the private space. The government is stalking in the bathroom. You're going to prosecute for that, okay? And the government has been stalking in the bathroom for a series of years. This is a term of years, okay? This is what I'm saying with regard to commercial actors, part of the entity. You are not being documented for that moment in time on my video where I'm capturing you engaging and monitoring me. You are acting with a government that has been engaged in prolonged criminal activity, and you shall be prosecuted because acting vicariously through the people, through commercial means, through any government means, through any third party using whatever they have at their disposal, to including the supplies of planes, which the state is stalking with and engaging in terrorism with. This is how the government is able to do it. You're going to be prosecuted for the totality of that crime with which you are partnering with a government to engage in, which includes sexual violence. The pattern of conduct is not going to be limited. Oh, I only engaged in this part. That's not how criminal conduct and acting with your criminal partners, your counterparts, works. That's not how that works, and that's not how it's going to be prosecuted. So this is why I'm going to the extent, because you need to understand the level of predatory conduct, the level of perversion that is engaged in while the entity is monitoring inside of a bathroom, engaging in demonic activity inside of a bathroom, which is achieving federal stalking. They're obsessively engaging in that which is federal stalking. All right. But like I said, exceeding that. The entity also knows that I don't even have a phone in my hand. The entity also knows that I may or may not even be hooked up to the internet, that the phone is in my pocket. What I'm saying, in other words, there is nothing that the entity is not aware of. You're talking about obsessive level, sexually violent conduct inside of a private space, and you're going to place what are legal parameters around that. All the ways in which the entity is engaging in that level of attacking an American citizen, stalking, all right, an American citizen. All right, attacking them physically, attacking them mentally. All right, and that is that sexual violence. And so I did take images of those who were hiding. Understand this; these demons know that I'm documenting. So you had nobody that was in sight as I'm exiting out the bathroom while directed light is covering. And as I walk back to that area and all the demons come out of hiding, which is in the men's room where doors are slamming, the employee coming out of the side entrance doors, Another means of doors slamming, and understand door slamming is just one method. The state is amplifying elevator activity, okay? The state is engaging in the amplification of toilets flushing and water cycling through the walls, all right? The state can engage in the creation of carnival music. It's a psychopath. It's just channeling noise inside of that space. Engaging in what is the breakdown, how you're breaking that down, it's audible activity. Right? That's what you're understanding. The environment is present. And where the environment is present, that is also letting you know that the P.O.C. is ceaseless. Even if the state just stopped all of a sudden stalking with a fake sun and directed light. All right? Even if that were to occur. Once you've established that that's ongoing, it is not even reasonable to posit that the government is just going to supposedly stop. You are understanding what is a ceaseless system, and it is ceaselessly underway. You're understanding what's a psychopath and demonstrating a willingness and conduct of stalking in such an unprecedented and unfathomable manner is that which is demonstrating an impermissible threat to the life of that one subject to that stalking conduct by a government acting in concert with the people, and that which is willing to engage in other psychopath measures to engage in continuing that, not stopping it, okay? Not stopping it whatsoever. That's sexual violence at Upland Public Library, all right? And that is the same exact method, amplified audible activity, and doing so while the demons remain in relevant position. And again, who am I referencing? The demons. I'm referencing, this is a demonic entity. All right. So for purposes of prosecuting demonic activity, you're talking about that's a government that's engaging in. That's what's legally relevant. The government is engaging in federal stalking. And it should be noted that this federal stalking, as they're engaging in these criminal elements of monitoring, light activity and relevant positioning, those three elements, it's demonic activity. It's terrorism. And they're dragging that terrorism right inside of the private space, okay? And you're going to prosecute for that. So that's ongoing. It's 2:36 p.m. That's P.O.C. at Upland Public Library. And that is P.O.C. All right, it's 5:42 p.m. The state's sounding train activity inside of the library. And you do have what is group stalking inside of the bathroom, literally like a predator waiting for me to walk toward the direction and runs inside of the restroom. That is predatory conduct where the pattern of conduct is underway. So just want to be clear, and that's train activity sounding inside of the Upland Public Library, impossible, audible activity. It's 5:43 p.m. Five WSZ 122, 8 STA 113, 13789 Z1.
Ryan's car isn't either.
86. I can't really see that one. These minions are all outside, understand, in peculiarized light and the state's directed light, and while the state is amplifying the impossible audible activity of the Metrolink train, because I surmise that's what that sound is supposed to be attributed to, the Metrolink train, because there's a train station in Upland. BD75R15, 13798Z1, 69879, handicap, SAEN Z26. 6EZV297, CYCLGPA, 7BNM 847, 7XQW958, 7BNA 317. This is a paper plate BT61V14. Molesting with light, also, that's a paper plate. All right, these demons are just patrolling around in the parking lot. 6SMN 353. And in the same of the parking lot of the Upland Unified School District. (8MWV 374). 8CDW 197. Okay, in case I did not read this one, 8STA 113. 5WSZ 122, 78962Y2, 6ZNK 518, 7UUS 463, 8MKX 887, under peculiarized light, crossing path 6MRR 078, 8DTR 509, VSP 3040, that's Virginia. 8JJE 828. 8SH. This Negro's funny. Try to cover up his license plate. JJAUREZ. Starting the ignition as I walk a different path. That's stalking with activity 8SHB368. 8ATG505. Remember, that's also light activity as I start their cars while I am approaching. All right, 8ATG505. 6CDA681. 8KYV395. 8EOH245. 8BZW480. 8TKX497. 8RIF742. 6WNN857. And this entity that I am identifying, some of which are engaged in ongoing sexually violent criminal conduct together, and I'm documenting what was stalking in the bathroom. Okay, that's what I captured. The entity stalking in the bathroom on behalf of the state of California. 7DNL608, 6WNN857, SCAVILA, 7SIB620. PSP 7396, that's Texas. 5URJ843, 8EUU419. 8LLC647. Let me see if I can read it over here. 7RUC816, 5CUB348, 8RFA320, 8SOR771, 8SHC392, 7ETD415, 8CDW197. 8KAU363, 7JCE820. LLC 647 is monitoring with children, and it being the day before Halloween is no excuse for the criminal conduct that the state is currently engaged in, and he is engaged in it with them, doing so with kids. 8 VDR 486, 8 ULY 916, 7 TZT 159, 9655283, 7 LQS 713, 7 SDU 571. Makes it a bad day, a bad season to be documented engaging in federal stalking. A bad year, matter of fact. 7KXS467, 8WCZ360, 7PLS 732, 6VJP 085, 6WET311, 6ROW 088, 8WIH 104, 7FMR 281, 5FDW 658, 8PCN 287, 8JGA 082, 3982382, 6MLN837, 7XMC563, RADCLIFF, LDYV8ER, 8BMD141, and molesting on behalf of the entity is this overweight sex offender with a kid in the back, 7XXJ159. License plate 7UNL035. All right, covering up their license plate, I'm gonna make a second round. That is license 8FNJ565, 5WFE838, 8DRR141, 7KOE339, MOM3BYS. Let me get these over here. So 8 PDV457, 8 U.S.T 980, 7 CLM 229, 6 AYA 795, 8 DTR 509, 4 VLV 204, 7 MBE 690. My document there. That's audible activity and directed light, and they're operating their communication devices. LVPFR01, 8 GCR 102, 8 YJG 757, 8 PRH 098, 6 HDC 706, 7 KMB 574, 7 LCR 608, 7 EHF 769, 6 SON 009, 6FTC 790 0199 1Z2. Eight PAC 581, 8 TOS 139, 6 SHF 169, 8 MBL 765, 8 RUX 340, BT 12885, that's paper, 7 ZRV 855, 8 KUC 295. This is paper, BT 04 C85. It's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. specifically. Hilarious. BT39B68 paper, 8 DOJ 103, 562172. Go on ahead. In case I didn't read this one, 8 KAU 363, who was also touching with light and monitoring with kids. All right, LAMOM. LAMOM is a sex offender. She's advertising that she's a mom, and so I want to make sure we document that because she's a sex offender. License plate 8 GHT 415, paper BT39B68, 8 DOJ 103, 562172, 8 MWV 374. Might have read that one already because it's right here on the corner, and I walked past this corner more than once. Alrighty, patrolling at the parking lot of the Upland Unified School District, filling the street of what is First Avenue, light activity as they are congregated on the street in their vehicles. The day before Halloween makes it no difference. They engage in the same exact pattern of conduct every day. This makes for plenty of documentation. That's what it makes for. 8 HDV 630. 8 ERA 358, 5F ZV 513. After you, my dear. License plate 8 SON 702, 7 GXS 591. That is 8KDR218, 8GHF120, 8HIL847, 8SBV136, 8 RHL357. It's 6:02 p.m. And 8 RHL357 touching while they are crossing path. 6 KDB 007, 8 LQT 482, 7 LTM 565, 8 GQW 810. So funny, she doesn't have to dress up like an evil one. She is demon possessed stalker, license 0E8KA Utah, 7 DND 720, 6 BSG 410, 8 HBX 595. 6 ADN 148, 8 XGL 094, 6 HCR 117, 7 UNG 200, 7 GBW 382, 8 LOX 465, 8 GVP 756, 7 FWR 127, 8 MZU 8 MZU 770, 55500G3. And 6 VAH 356, that is the female that I was referencing whose license plate. She works at the Upland Public Library. She's the one slamming doors, engaging in monitoring someone in the bathroom while their genitalia is exposed, while they're physically indisposed. 8 DMH 264 was also doing the same thing, part of the same sexually violent entity that I'm documenting at the parking lot of the Upland Unified School District. Crossing path right now. 8 VMW 746, 7 KKY 233, CHIOINI, 6 JYZ 040, 8 JTT 898. This is paper BT 20B03, and that one monitoring, that's a paper plate, and she's monitoring with the kid. And she's also touching at the same time, sexually violating someone while she's monitoring with the kid. 8SFS 206. 8 ULC 873. 8 GEF 633. 6 FUH 458. Just waiting to start their car, group stalking in the vehicle. 8 LOX 465. Starts as I walk past. Okay, that's called stalking with activity. 7 TLD 697. 889 MC handicap. 8 LPH 516. 8 CCT 697. Molesting is 8 RHL 357. It's 6:05 p.m. 8 LMA 628. Both of them are touching together. Let me be clear. 7 YDS 375 and 8 EJA 878 is touching. The state is aiming directed light. Their headlights aren't even in position for that light activity that just occurred. All right, they're all engaging in P.O.C. and this is sexual violence. They're sex offenders. Okay, 8 KCR 389, 8 TTC 295. Just want to make sure I read those as I was walking down the aisle. I want to get this sex offender that was molesting. To get there. All right, shadows on both sides of me, magnified sides of a shadow, and this sex offender touching. This is Satan entering in a driveway, touching with light, in directed light. Okay, I've already got 2 shadows on both sides of me. That is Pure Michigan. AWP 823 is her license plate. That's a white female. 7 PTE 520. License 8GXV 806. 8XVR 418. 8SMJ 742. 6 ZOV 755. GOCW BY. 8 YEC 174. 8 WXT 049. 8 EME 878. 8 FMW 304. And 8 8 EME 878 engaging in satanic conduct of stalking with activity. Like I said, Satan doesn't have to look at you, right? With simultaneity to my noticing they're turning off their lights, that's a creation of light activity, and that's called stalking with conduct. And you're also going to want to pay attention to what you hear in the background. The state is stalking with plane engines, okay? This is very much indeed satanic conduct. She's molesting with a kid, all right? She's engaging in terrorism. That's satanic activity with the government with a child. All right, 8 EME 878, that's P.O.C. 5 ENA 032, 7 ZCE 461, 6 GDS 879, 7 TJN 533, 8 NJR 753, 7 WFL 707, 8 GXE 107, 8 SQN 491, 8 VMR 211, 6 TSK 254, 8 SAG 903, 8 DGS 873, 7 HZW 520, 7 NKY 387, 8 RGB 694, 62107F3. It is 6:08 p.m. Okay. 8 W, I think I read that one already. 8 UTH 027. 5 SHC 825. 7 Z 25212. 8 JTF 828. And she's touching. And that is directed light. That creates magnified size of my feet, not her headlights. All right, that's a sex offender that's touching. It is 6:09 p.m. Wow. Could it leave? Eight SMG 767. 8 AGS 369. 8 Y12174. I'm sorry, that's actually 8 AGS 389. 7 RQF 930. That's what you want to go for. 7 THY 239. 5 VEX 127. 7 GIJ 746. 8 EAM 858. 7 PTY 085. 7HGS 751 79501D1. That is Mission Furniture engaging in stalking with light last night. That vehicle remains there, and that is P.O.C.
What made it even worse?
Who cares if he's 24506F3? I'm documenting black people every day. P.O.C. at 434 North Euclid Avenue. This is the ARCO. They are maintaining presence in the path. Helicopter activity over the venue as she's driving to the venue, and plane activity right now. It is currently 6:22 p.m. and that is plane activity over the ARCO. And I'm taking pictures of it right now. That's P.O.C. All right, taking pictures of the group stalker. That's a short Latino male at pump number 5. He's monitoring. Communication device in operation too. As he gets out of the car, he's maintaining presence. The state sounding plane activity. Pay attention to where it's at. I'm taking a picture right out of the windshield because the state is flying right over the gas station where I'm at. Okay, so this group stalker's license plate, who I capture on image. Let's see, indirected light. License plate. Oh my God, I can't see through that back windshield. It is currently 6:23 p.m. though. You're going to see those images of the state flying over by plane. That's hovering over. That's amplification, first of all, of plane activity. But let me be clear. The state is hovering in an airplane over the gas station. And this is the same gas station where the state is hovering with its fake sun over the gas station during the day. Directed light is present over the venue right now. Those are the demon-possessed using vehicles while they are crossing path in the state's environment, stalking in concert with that entity. And I just documented the entity. This is the same entity that is stalking in a bathroom. That's what I documented. The same entity stalking while I exit while I exit the bathroom, but I mean, while I'm at the parking lot documenting all those minions, it's the same entity, okay? And that's what I'm showing you. It's 6:23 p.m. That's P.O.C. at ARCO, 434 North Euclid Avenue. And I want to clarify, Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue is directly across the street. They are monitoring, okay? The Gloria's Cochina, right across the street. They are monitoring. All right? I just want to make sure I clarify that.
Sanitize.
All right, the third party who I documented is stalking with light, turns on the headlights, sitting in the car waiting. I already read his license plate, and he is at gas pump number 6. The state flies over again in another airplane, and he turns on his headlights in order to touch with light while she's driving by. This is demonic teamwork, okay? That's P.O.C. 245063, I believe. I recited it correctly the first time. It's P.O.C. at ARCO. 844XUJ 6FOT212 8XRA483 00938V1 8XWF869 CBT9353 8WPP686 6NCC252. Bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. It's 6:25 p.m. All right, it is 6:34 p.m. and so I want to document the sequence of events. I'm arrived at and I'm inside of the vehicle that's at 630 North Fern, and the state begins sounding what is train activity at this address. To even be able to hear train activity, that's called impossible audible activity. That is speaking to what is demonic. All right, the criminal elements of monitoring underway, but this is what is demonic activity, utilizing the sound of what is a train. This is the demonic activity that was underway inside of the Upland Public Library. Okay, when I'm sitting and on video, I'm showing you a video of the Metrolink train that is crossing path. You have what is the absence of the filling of that vehicle with sound that would be overwhelming. Okay, it would be that which would actually cause distractions to drivers, all right, in more than one fathomable manner. But you have what is the state is creating the sound of the train inside of the library. This would be the same in the Upland Public Library, by the way. So that's speaking of what's supposedly Metrolink. But you have what is the absence of such activity, which it's not that loud, because that is not going to present that sort of disturbance, not only to the residents and the businesses, but those who are driving right there up and down Euclid Avenue. Okay. I mean, I'm just spelling out common sense. This is speaking of terrorism as satanic conduct is underway. This is terrorism inside of the Upland Public Library. That's what they're doing. Okay. This is terrorism while the state is engaging in that conduct inside of a car where it is stalking an American citizen, molesting with directed light, and that's what occurred next. Sounding the sound of a train, which is impossible audible activity. You have what is swiping across the roof of the car, directed light. And this demon drives by a third party, the people of the state, the entity that was stalking in the bathroom today, all right, that I documented this morning. I've been documenting them, but I added more names to that tally, all right, to that roster, excuse me. And you have what is the entity stalking in the bathroom and stalking an American citizen in a car, okay? Engaging in what is absolutely demented, obsessive level stalking activity that a government is engaging in. Flying over by aircraft and sounding what is activity inside of the car, sweeping directed light across the roof of the car at the moment that I turn on my mobile network, okay? So that's accessing internet. That's called stalking with activity. That is the same thing that the demons are doing that you're hearing on my podcast as I approach being in alignment. So as I'm walking, they start their vehicles. They start their ignitions. That's called audible activity and light activity. That's called stalking with activity. All right. That's demonic conduct. That's what the state is doing. That's what third parties are doing. Those same demons are stalking me while I'm inside of a vehicle at night, where the entity is following from place to place, following me from 630 North Fern, following me back to 630 North Front. And this is the ongoing documentation of what is federal stalking by government that is practicing satanic activity in concert with the people of the state who are the demon-possessed actors maintaining that demonic environment, engaging in that demonic activity corporately. It is 6:37 p.m., and that is the P.O.C. All right. The entity is engaging in terrorism with the public entity. All right. That is flying over the vehicle in helicopter right now. And continuous engagement and aiming at directed light inside of the vehicle and across my person with directed light, flying over the vehicle in helicopter while they're monitoring what I'm doing on the internet. And I will continue publishing my documentation on the internet. What I am publishing now is that this is the same entity that is stalking in bathroom stalls. And that's what I want you to understand. The entity is stalking someone who was documenting that sexual violence, and I'm going to prosecute it because that sex offender is flying around in a circle in a helicopter. It's demon possessed, all right? Practicing satanic activity while they're engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state. Those demon possessed third parties stalk in the bathroom, and that's what I'm focused on, the sexual violence and the terrorism that the demonic entity is acting pursuant to. And this is at 630 North Fern, 7:34 p.m. That is P.O.C. All right. In addition to the ongoing stalking via helicopter that I published on my documentation on my podcast, the state engaging in this concentrated effort to stifle internet connectivity. So I documented in screenshots the monitoring on my phone. This is criminal obstruction of justice as the demon possessed. That is the entity. Okay, that is monitoring with communication devices in concert with the people of the state of California, engaging in what is federal stalking. And these are literal screenshots of that monitoring conduct, which is serving the criminal purpose of obstruction of justice while they're monitoring, trying to obstruct the ability to publish the evidence of that criminal activity that is threatening the life of the one subject to that criminal system, that is sexually violating on a perpetual basis, indeed engaging in sexual violence while engaging in that act of obstruction of justice and monitoring on my phone. That is the people of the state, those psychopaths, those stalkers, those sex offenders are driving around while the state is engaging in aiming directed light inside of the car onto what is the passenger side, through the passenger side window. And again, this is the state engaging in this tactic of this mirror-like conduct where the passenger side window that is not even facing the street, where you will never see brake lights. Nobody is reversing in front of on this driver side door. While they're driving by, you're seeing the brake lights, you're seeing headlights through the passenger side window. This is the state's chicanery with light. It's demonic. Okay, this is terrorism. That's how you're prosecuting that. And this is the same entity that I'm documenting in all of their vehicles, at their addresses, their images, whatever venues that they are at. They are present, engaging in ongoing sexual violence and obstruction of justice. This is the same entity that is stalking in bathroom stalls. This is the entity that is touching all over my body with directed light, with that psychopath that's flying in a circle in a helicopter. This is the totality of that entity, and this documentation of that conduct. And I captured what's obstruction of justice, and those are captured in screenshots, just stopping the internet. I have unlimited internet my phone bill is paid. And not only that, you have, regardless of how much data I use, I want to be clear, I'm paying for what is literally published as unlimited. But not only that, you have what is, even when I pay my phone bill on day one, the state is interrupting internet connection. I want to be clear, this has nothing to do with how much data that I'm using, how strong my signal is. This is monitoring. All right. And so this is monitoring that's serving the psychopath's purpose, that wants to engaging. This is the psychopath, not only because of the pattern of conduct, but think about it. I have thousands of videos published already. I could publish these screenshots, and I'm going to because of the principle. All right. But I could publish these screenshots or not. It's already established. Do you understand? It's a psychopath in this regard as well. Shooting light all inside of the vehicle, stalking around a car, stalking someone who was sleeping in a vehicle, stalking someone who was sleeping outside on the grounds of the museum. That's what I documented. Okay. You are stalking while I'm kidnapped in jail. You're kidnapping me, and you are still stalking in all of these manners. This is demonic. Understand this. This is what I'm revealing. This is demon possession. All right. Anyway, it's 10:13 p.m. and that's what I captured in screenshots. That's P.O.C.